It's the Toker Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Toker Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Toker Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Hey, hold 'em up. Hey, hold 'em up. Hey, hold 'em up. Hey. Man, listen. Okay, so if that shit sounded forced, it's because it was. Because bitch ass FL Studio, well, my dumbass kind of too. Bitch ass FL Studio decided that it was gonna record it in patterns, so it kept recording it in 4 bars. So I kept having 2-second clips recorded, and then it just mounted up to like 845 or whatever. Fucking bitch ass FL Studio. So I was there rambling for like 20 fucking minutes before I noticed that nothing I had said had been recorded. Well, it just been recorded in 2-second clips. Fucking bitch ass shit. Bitch ass me too. Not fucking paying attention and shit. Anyways, this is the Toker Talk Tuesday podcast, right? Yeah, I got it right that time. Hell yeah, I'm getting better. And if you hear some Mexican music playing in the background, it's because we have some assholes across the street that like to drink at 12:30 in the morning on fucking Tuesday. Cause they're fucking assholes. There's no other reason for that other than they're lousy pieces of shit. You know what? Shit like that, people like that, got me thinking sometimes, like, you know what? Fuck it, man. Build the wall. Well, not really, but y'all know what I'm saying. I mean, if we could keep people like that out, I wouldn't mind. Fucking dickheads. And sometimes they'll shoot their gun at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, too. They'll be over there. I don't know if they're shooting in the air. I don't know if they're shooting at the ground or what, but they're fucking assholes shooting a gun at 2 o'clock in the morning on a fucking weekday. It's not even like it's the fucking weekend. It's always on a weekday. Fucking jerks. But, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, should I call the cops just to fucking get them to stop and let them know that people are listening? But then I don't want to be that asshole too. Because what if karma decides to call the cops on me one day whenever I'm banging my music loud or whatever? But I'm never shooting a gun though. I at least have the decency not to shoot a gun if I'm gonna be an asshole enough to be playing my music loud and not worried about other people. But I don't know, man. Those are the type of people that shop at Home Depot. And speaking of Home Depot, I put in my 2 weeks notice today. Yeah, there was a moment of silence because it was a sad moment for my manager. He seemed really sad. I told him and he's like, I was like, so, I'm going to be putting in my 2 weeks. It's like, 2 weeks for what? I was like, to leave? He's like, oh man, well, we're gonna miss you. I'm like, oh, miss me? I was like, oh, how nice. But yeah, man, I put in my 2 weeks, and I have a plan, right? I mean, yeah, I have a plan. I'm just being typical me and not really acting on it sometimes, which is sometimes my problem, and I really need to. So hopefully I don't fucking fall flat on my face while I'm doing this shit. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do what Gary V said to do. Gary Vaynerchuk. Maybe one day he'll come on my podcast. Maybe. Pinche Gary V. A ver. But yeah, he said to, well, I'm not really doing exactly what he said, but basically I'm just selling shit on eBay. I'm just buying shit for cheap and flipping it, selling that shit on eBay. Because I wasn't really making that much money here at Home Depot anyways. It was a little part-time job. And I only worked, Monday through Thursday, only a couple hours. I need to start fucking speaking louder too. That's the other thing that I noticed, and I keep fucking forgetting. Like last podcast, I I had a lot of it to where it was really, really quiet, and I noticed I was like, man, should I get closer to the mic? But if I get closer to the mic, then you could hear me breathing and shit, and you could hear me like swallowing water and all whatnot. So yeah, I was like, you know what? No, I just need to stop speaking like a little bitch and actually start fucking talking like a man whenever you're doing your podcast. But yeah, man, I actually prepared again. Hell yeah, that's 2 times in a fucking row, bitch. Hopefully I could keep that up. You know, I actually got some stuff I wanted to talk about. Like one day I was thinking about like a truly intelligent species would be self-sustainable, like life on another planet. Like, and if they happen to visit us, or if they did, you know, they probably didn't want to interfere. They're probably just observing because they're like, nah, man, they probably got to find their way. And then they have like a special council with other alien life forms and stuff. And they decide what's good for the universe. And we're just not in it because we're being buttholes and we're fucking up our own planet. And they don't want to include us yet because they're like, no, they're still being dicks over there at Earth. And they don't want to include us. And I think back in the 1970s with the Roswell shit, I think there was probably some outlaws that were some rebels, some rebel aliens. And they're like, you know what? We're going to go check them out. We're going to go see what them Earth people are doing. And see what they've been up to. See how they've been progressing. And then something fucked up and then it crashed or whatever. I don't really know the story of Roswell. So, I'm just, you know, I just made this theory up on hearsay. Yeah. Where was I going? Oh yeah, the aliens and being self-sustainable. That's probably what happened back then with the Roswell stuff. No, I think that's what we're heading to. I think that's what we're gonna be heading to, is that we're not gonna be going out to other planets like what Elon Musk wants to do. He wants to go out there to Mars and he wants to make that a new Earth, which I don't really think is that good of an idea. Like, why can't you just make a new Earth here? Like, what are you... I mean, unless you're worried about asteroids. If that's what he's worried about, like, our whole planet getting wiped out because of asteroids, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. But why don't you just build a shield like what Neil deGrasse Tyson says? Just make a fucking shield. We could do it. I don't know how, but he said we can do it, and I fucking trust him. Where was I going with this again? Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep talking. So yeah, I told you I, put in my 2 weeks. I believe in aliens. That's actually true. Cause I mean, it'd be pretty fucking arrogant to think that all the shit to make up life is everywhere in the universe, but for whatever reason, we're the only ones that are living in this big old freaking area that we haven't even explored a little teeny tiny fraction of. I think that'd be really arrogant to think. Don't you? Let me know in the fucking comments. Even though nobody's listening, because my last upload had no fucking views except for mine whenever I decided to see if I talked about guys standing in front of the bar again. That's the only fucking view it had. But oh well, I need to start putting my shit up on iTunes, and I don't know why I'm still pointing whenever I'm fucking saying this, and I don't know why the fuck I'm still talking like this. But yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta put my shit up on iTunes. I gotta put that shit up on Spotify. I want to put it up on SoundCloud, but they're kind of assholes and they only let you upload like 3 hours for free. And then after that, you gotta pay. They're like, oh, you want more time? You gotta upload. You gotta pay for it. Which is kind of fucking gay. YouTube doesn't fucking charge. Maybe they might one day. I hope not. I hope fucking YouTube does not charge. They better not start charging to upload fucking videos like SoundCloud does. Well, I mean, SoundCloud's mainly for music, right? So you could upload a whole bunch of songs, because 3 hours is a whole bunch of songs. Each song is like, what, 3 minutes? And I'm not doing the math right now. Fuck that. But yeah, I get what I'm saying. I need to start putting this shit on more platforms. I've only been putting it on YouTube, so I could get more exposure. I need to start putting that shit like on iTunes. I don't know how you would do it. Do you have to like file for a license? Do you have to submit a request? Do you just upload it? Can they just let you upload it? I need to start doing some researching on that shit. And man, yeah, it's been a pretty interesting week. I don't know where how I segued into this. I'm terrible at this right now. I just want y'all to know I'm terrible at my podcasting right now. But I wanna start working from home. I don't want to go out places and start working for other people anymore. I told y'all that, right? I want to be my own fucking boss. Tired of working for people. People are fucking stupid. And I'm tired of leaving my future in people's hands whenever they keep showing me that they're pretty fucking stupid. Like, I work for this company. I don't want to throw them under the bus. I don't want this to come off as like a hate rant or whatever, but they're doing some pretty dumb things. Like, one thing I've been noticing starting up, my little startup, my little music shit, is that you're gonna have to spend money in order for something to actually work out. And in order for that thing to continue to work out, you need to continue working on what it is you're providing. Like me, I need to make sure that my music is good to make sure people want to keep listening to it. And in order for me to build on my music shit, start this podcast and start everything else that I want to do eventually, I need to make sure that my foundation, that what I'm known for, that my business is built on a solid foundation, and I need to keep that foundation, up to code. And these people that I'm working for, they're not keeping their foundation up to code. They're trying to build on a foundation, but the foundation has a whole bunch of cracks in it. You get my metaphor, right? Basically, that's what's happening. Like, their main thing that they're known for is getting kind of fucked up, and they keep ignoring it. I don't know if it's because of the things that they're trying to do, or I don't know if they're just being cheap, but they're letting their main foundation get fucked up because they don't want to invest money into what it is that got them their name. And there's a thing about a business, a company, is that it's just not, a place where you do business. A business is a whole package. It's a reputation. It's what you provide. It's how people interact with you. And yeah, it's a whole fucking package. So if any one of those little pieces, if any one of those little tiers ends up, getting cracks in it, starts falling, then your whole business could fall apart too, because you refuse to maintain one simple little thing. Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest because I've been thinking about that shit lately. And if you own a business out there, make sure that what it is you're doing is, legit. Like, don't be trying to cut corners on things, because eventually you cutting corners could just end up fucking you over a lot more in the long run. Because it could fuck up your reputation, like I said. And reputation is definitely a big part of a business. If you get known for screwing people over or, cutting corners, then people are going to expect that from you. And if you have that expected from you, people are less likely to go, with you, because they know that they're not going to get their money's worth sometimes. So that's just a little something from an outside perspective. I don't really have a interest in the business, but that's just what I'm observing. And the other thing, take care of your employees, because if you don't take care of your employees, they're not going to be taking care of your business, which is what I learned with Home Depot. Like, they give them short hours, and then they cut their hours because they say that people are getting too many hours, and then they get mad whenever people quit on them and go find another job to where they are going to get more hours because they need the money. And then they have to hire people to replace those people that they didn't want to give hours to, and then they give them the same hours, and then they end up spending more money through the hiring process, and they lose money in the training because they don't really know what to do yet. So all that time that they're paying for, they're not really getting their money back from that, because the production isn't as good as if they just kept their people happy and let them work more hours, and they keep fucking losing money, but they don't get it because they want to keep seeing their bottom line go down and their profits go up, because they want to spend as least amount of money as possible, but they want to make the most out of every dollar that they're not spending to make their business a better place. You get it? So yeah, just take care of your fucking employees. Don't be shitty at business. Make sure that your business is good before you start trying to, become a conglomerate like fucking Walmart, to where they got Sam's Club, and then they got their own little brand of food and all that shit. Cause then people hate you, and in the long run, you can make a lot of money now, but in the long run, that shit's gonna change. People are gonna be like, you know what? Fuck you. You never took care of us. Why should we keep, giving you what you want? And then eventually you're just gonna die out, and you're not gonna, be no more. Or I could be fucking wrong. Home Depot could be the only fucking supplier for the world one day in like the next 20-30 years or whatever, and Walmart could be the only place where you buy groceries in the next 30-40 years. I could be fucking wrong. I hope I'm not. I hope morals trump money, but I hate using that fucking word, Trump. Is that even a fucking word? They kept saying that during the rallies. Trump that bitch. Trump that bitch. Is that even a word? Is that a verb? Should I Google it? You know what? I'm going to. Because I have my phone right here. And I can. Trump verb. Trump verbal tics. It says Trump noun. No, it does have verb. Play a trump on. A card of another suit. Having no cards of the suit led. What? I guess that has something to do with cards. Trump. It's like a blackjack term or what? The motherfucker has a blackjack name. What the hell? His name isn't even Trump. It's Drumpf. With the freaking F. John Oliver told me that on Last Week Tonight. That fool was fucking hilarious. I'm happy that he got his own show, because he did such a good job on the Daily Show. And whenever Jon Stewart came back, I was really happy. But I was like, well, I mean, John Oliver did a really good job, so I'm kind of going to miss John Oliver too, because he was a good host. He was a really good host for The Daily Show. But I'm happy he got his own show, and he does an excellent job on that freaking show. Shouts out to John Oliver, man. He's a very funny, random, scrawny British dude, but he's fucking a great guy. And I think his heart's in the right place. I think he really does want good. I hope. I want to do something like that. Not really like a John Oliver or Daily Show type thing, but you know, like satire. I guess it would kind of be like it. I don't know, but I want to do satire. I don't know if I'm funny enough for it. I hope so, because that seems like fun. But I want to do that. I want to get my own little show. I'm gonna have me one day my own little studio, to where I'm gonna have like cameras and on-set stuff like that, to where I could record, and maybe I'll have like a live studio audience if I have enough money. But I want to do that shit. I want to do like some satire show, and then have like sketches or something. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be giving out ideas for people to be stealing them, because I know that's how people work. You say something, and then like 2 weeks later, exactly what you thought was an original idea, because you've never seen it before, starts getting promoted, and you're like, damn, man, what the hell? Did Google steal my idea from my phone? Are they recording me? Bitch ass fucking Google. Dude, I think they are. I swear, I really do think that Google records your conversations, because I'll be talking about something, and it's not like in my search history or nothing, and then I'll Google what I was talking about, because I want to know if what I was talking about was even true or if it made any sense. And then Google will basically have what I was talking about as a first suggestion, and I'll be like, that's fucking creepy. Unless I just think like a whole lot of other people, and I'm just not really an original thinker. That's another possibility. Who knows? I'm sorry, I got really bad cotton mouth right now, because even though I've done only 22 minutes, I've technically done like about 40, but FL Studio wants to be a little bitch. Fucking, you could picture me doing the little SpongeBob meme where he looks like a duck, and then he's got his hands behind his back, and then they spell the letters out in capital and lowercase, capital, lowercase, capital, lowercase. That was me right now. Bitch ass fucking FL Studio. I already admitted it was kind of my fault for not checking, so that's kind of pointless to keep blaming FL Studio, but whatever. What was I even talking about before I got back on this? Oh yeah, John Oliver and Drumpf. Oh yeah, he recently I got kind of annoyed. He misspelled coffee. He wrote coffee, and everybody on Twitter and the news were like, oh my god, he spelled coffee, and they made this whole big deal about it, like as if he's not being investigated still to the Russia ties, and he didn't just pull us out of the Paris Agreement or whatever. They're over here focusing about him misspelling coffee. Like, how dumb are we as a fucking nation to where we get distracted by sounds, by these big sounds, or, you know, all the scandalous shit, that we forget about what's really important. That's how fucking Donald Trump became president, and we're still doing the same goddamn shit. Fucking CNN, fucking Fox, fucking MSNBC, fucking CBS and all that bullshit. Why do y'all keep focusing on this dumb ass shit? I don't care if he's misspelled coffee. he's being investigated by freaking Russia. What's been going on with that? Why haven't I heard anything new about that? Fucking news though, man. Fucking news. Getting annoyed. That's why I'm getting prepared for the end of the world. That's what I'm doing. I don't have, bomb shelter money or bunker money, those doomsday prepper money, but I want to start growing my own food. It's my first step to prepare for nuclear war is growing tomatoes. That's my plan. Like, you know what? Because I don't think they'll bomb Houston. Because nobody gives a fuck about Houston, like, outside of the United States. I don't think people in other countries even know where Houston is. They know New York City and they know Los Angeles. And that's it, mainly. It's like everything else from America, other than New York City and Los Angeles, isn't really known in other countries. Or maybe it is, but I don't know because I haven't really been to other countries other than Mexico. I've been over there a lot, and I don't really know if they know anything about New York City or Los Angeles. But that's basically all you see on movies and stuff. It's just New York City and Los Angeles. Like, they're always getting attacked or flooded or some kind of disaster. Apparently movie directors do not like those two cities, even though they're mainly dwelling in those. Where the fuck? I keep getting distracted on where I was. What was I talking about? Growing my own food, right? Yeah. I think that'd be dope. That's what I want to do one day. I want to have me like a little farm and just grow my own shit to where it's not like a hippie thing to where, I just want to live off the land, man. Like, nah, I actually want to, I'm lazy. I don't want to go to fucking Walmart or to Kroger's or to Publix or to whatever to go buy my food. I just want to be able to walk outside and be like, carrot, and just pull one out of the dirt and then go inside, wash it, and cut it up and eat that bitch. That shit would be fucking dope. And I want to have chickens, and I want to have cows, and I want to have duckies. No, but I do want to have some livestock. And I do want to go hunting. I hope Joe Rogan will take me one day to go hunting, because that'd be pretty cool. And hopefully we don't come across a bear and get mauled like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a gruesome fucking scene. My homeboy showed it to me. I was like, oh, that looks hurtful. Like, he just freaking bit his head. Oh, can you imagine freaking, who knows how many pounds of pressure from that bear biting on your skull, and it gets amplified by those freaking pointy canine teeth that he has. Oh, that shit looks so fucking terrible. If I ever go hunting, I'm gonna have to have my rifle to shoot long distance, and I'm gonna have to have a shotgun. Just in case of a fucking bear attack, I could at least, make sure that I fuck it up before it gets me. Like, I'm gonna keep shooting at its face. I'm gonna get a buckshot and freaking blast a hole in that freaking bear, because I do not want to risk getting freaking mauled by a bear. I could get mauled by those cats, those big cats, the panthers. And the what are the other leopards and shit like that? Because apparently those go for your neck. Those just want to kill you. A bear would just sit there and start eating you freaking alive. Like, that's not how I want to freaking die. That seems like a terrible way to die. If I die, I want to do it on skydiving. No, let me not say that. Because what if I go skydiving one day and I die and they're like, oh, well, he said that's how he wanted to die. At least he got his wish. No, motherfucker, I don't really want to die yet. I still got shit I want to do. Like, I want to go see the Vietnam. I want to go see Vietnam, like, and go on those boats to where they have those mountains that have caves and openings built into them or carved into them through the water flow, through the water erosion. I need to start getting better at describing shit. Or maybe I need to stop smoking so much before I do this podcast. I should only smoke a little bit in order for me to actually make good sentences. But that's what I want to do. I want to go to Vietnam where all those freaking trees. I just like naturally pretty places. I don't like big cities that much. I would rather be out there in like Colorado or something, or near the what's that national park? Yellowstone. Somewhere near Yellowstone. I think that'd be pretty dope. But I also wouldn't want to be near there because it's a super volcano, and that seems like a pretty shitty way to die too. Because I don't know if that'll be quick. Like, would you die quickly if that volcano exploded? Like, would you burn to death? Would you get smashed by flying debris? Would you burn from the extremely hot ashes? I don't know. I just know I would not want to be anywhere near any type of volcano eruption, especially not one that blows half of the United States off. That just seems kind of shitty. So, where would I have to move? I want Florida, but now that Trump pulled us out of the Paris agreements, whatever, that's not going to be land for very long, maybe. So that seems like a pretty bad real estate move. Maybe I would have to go further north, like North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere in Canada. Because according to like the science and stuff, all the middle places, like where the equator is just going to become drier and hotter. So it's going to be getting hotter further north away from the equator. So some places might not be habitable like they are now. According to some of the science that I've seen, which is mainly from YouTube videos and, you know, stuff off of comedy shows. But I don't know. That just seems like a pretty bad real estate move, especially now with freaking dumbass Trump's decision. And what's kind of funny is that he knew that shit's kind of real because his golf course is getting a wall built to protect it from the rising sea levels. It's like he knows that shit's going on because it's affecting him. I'm pretty sure he has to know what's going on, at least a little bit. He can't be 100% dumb. Or maybe he can. He is blonde or whatever freaking color that shit is. It looks like pee. I'm sorry, I had to take another drink. But let me see what I have written on my phone. Because like I told you, I actually prepared this time. Again, I feel cool. Because I'm sitting there and I'm writing notes like I'm fucking important and shit. I actually have California earthquakes. Which is kind of funny because that's one of the areas that would be affected by Yellowstone blowing up. Would be California. I think that they said something about it would fall into the ocean. I'm like, well, that's terrible. I don't know why people buy real estate in California. There's so many earthquakes. There's so many fires. They don't have any freaking water source. Like, it doesn't rain over there. And people were like, nah, I think we're gonna stay here. Like, I like it. It doesn't rain. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any water for like 100 miles. But who needs water to live? And as far as the earthquaking, like, who were the first Native Americans or indigenous people to go out there to California, feel the earth shaking, seeing all the freaking trees shaking, and I'm pretty sure falling, because I'm pretty sure trees fall during an earthquake. Who were the people that went out there to where the earth shakes and were like, I like it here, it's nice? That little rumbling, it just kind of puts you to sleep. It's just, cradles you like a baby. Like, what kind of fucking crazy psychopath decided to settle in California? People, though, man. People. Those are people. People get comfortable somewhere and they just adapt. They're like freaking bacteria. I think humans are just bacteria. I think we're like a cancer that just got out of control. Like, what if the solar system is like a being, like a live being, like a animal, and we're just some type of like little cancerous parasite living on one of the little organs or something? Like, what if Earth is an organ in what's it called? In this celestial being that we call the universe, because we don't really know what's out there. Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? Like, why should we believe that it stops? Like, do you think parasites inside of a body, like a heartworm? My uncle's dog recently found out that they had, well, he didn't find out, we found out that the dog had heartworms. And can you imagine the dog finding out, like, oh, how long do I have left to live, doctor? Freaking dog over there asking the veterinarian. Anyways, yeah, do you think a heartworm in a dog realizes that it's inside of something else's body? Because don't they have to like form in there? I don't think they like crawl in there, do they? Maybe that's a bad example. The bacteria that you have in your gut, there's like a whole bunch of bacteria and stuff that you have living inside of your intestines and all that. Do you think that they realize that they're inside of something else? Because they know nothing else other than what they were created in. And that is you. Like, and you can't see them. If you look under a microscope, all you're going to see is, little tiny cells, but you don't know if they're conscious or not. What if they are conscious? What if they communicate? Like the bacteria in your gut, what if all that shit communicates with everything else? And they're just on one little piece. And then, other cells within your other body parts also communicate. What if that's how the universe is? Like, if we're just some, like, cancers. Because we look like cancer. If you look at us from the earth and all this bullshit that we're doing to it, we would probably look like an illness. Because it doesn't look healthy. The things that we're doing, like, you just see these dark gray illuminating spots on earth, and we call them cities and we live in it. I think it could be fair to say that we would be like that. And what if whatever it is that we're living inside of is getting hurt by us? What if we're making it sick? And what if global warming is just the being's way of trying to get rid of us? But we're like, no, we're gonna move further north. Fuck you. Like, I like it here. We're chilling. And then there's like a doctor, and it's, checking out the little young universe, and then Mama Universe and Papa Universe are worried. They're like, is it curable? Are these humans, are they curable? Just let me know. I need to know. I need to know we can get rid of these humans. And we're like, then the doctor's like, well, I don't know, man. We've tried, Mrs. Universe. We've tried everything that we have. We sent hurricanes. We sent fires. We sent a flood. That's what happened in Noah's day. It was a flood. the doctor prescribed the flood, and it still didn't get everybody. And we were like, you know what? Nope, we're gonna stay. We're little rebels and we fight. It's like when whenever somebody gets like a little cancer thing and then they cut out the cancerous area, and then they're like, oh well, somehow, you know, a little bit stayed and then it spread again. That's what happened to us. That's what we did. They cut the the area that was affected out, but some of us stayed. Noah and his incestuous family, apparently, because they were the only people that lived, and somehow they made the rest of the people, they spread out again, and they made more people, and we just kept spreading and spreading. Now the cancer took over the earth again, and the doctor prescribed Trump, and they're trying to get rid of us again. So who knows? Maybe this is exactly what the universe needed. I don't know. Some bullshit I just came up with. But yeah, I already talked about shitty business practice, right? Yeah, I had to. The IRS. Them motherfuckers. I owe them. I haven't had a refund since I was 18. I've had one refund in my whole life, and it was only like 200 and something bucks. And the rest of the years, I've been paying taxes. So, the thing that bothered me about the IRS is that every year I pay taxes. Every year, they send me a letter to tell me how much I owe in taxes. Every month, they send me more letters to tell me how much I need to pay them next month. Like Chase, where that has more money, I'm pretty sure, than you guys, the IRS, is sending me emails about shit I can do online. Why isn't the IRS sending me emails as opposed to sending me these fucking letters telling me to pay my taxes? I don't need 4 pages explaining how much I owe the next month. I know how much I owe the next month. I set up the deal with you guys. Why don't y'all send me a fucking email? How antiquated is the IRS that you guys are still sending letters? Next thing you know, they're going to be sending fucking carrier pigeons with the damn invoice telling me to pay up and shit in old English handwriting using the quill. Fucking jackasses. Update your shit. That's why nobody likes you, IRS. And I know they're going to be listening to me. They probably already tapped my microphone. But there's more efficient ways for you guys to spend y'all's money. Why aren't y'all doing the email thing like everybody else? Catch up. It's 2017. Nobody's sending letters anymore. Just send me an email, tell me how much I owe you, and let me pay you via internet like everyone else. Because I could bank online, I could purchase online, I could watch porn online, but somehow I can't pay my taxes. Why? Why, IRS? IRS? Why not? Bitch ass IRS. Just throwing away money, killing trees and shit for no damn reason. Speaking of trash, I'm getting frustrated whenever I'm at the bar and people leave their trash on the bar. I don't know how it is like at other like clubs and bars, because I don't really go to clubs and bars. But why do y'all leave your freaking bitten limes and dirty shot glasses on my bar whenever there's 2 trash cans right next to you? Is that like bar etiquette or what? Like, somebody let me know, why do y'all leave your fucking trash on the bar? There's 2 trash cans literally 5, not even 5, maybe like 2 feet away from you that you could just extend your arm and throw it into. But no, they make more work for me, and then they don't even give me a fucking tip. Bitch ass motherfuckers. I'm over there doing twice the work because you don't want to extend your arm to freaking throw away something. That's why our world is so dirty. That's why there's a freaking island in the middle of the ocean of nothing but plastic bottles. Because pieces of shit like you that can't just throw away their trash. And even if you do throw it away, it's still going to end up in the fucking water somehow. Because we don't really take care of our landfills. And shit's still falling from the garbage trucks. Because those aren't even clean. Have you ever driven behind one of those and the shit's just falling out of it? It's like, oh my god. Like, I hope none of that shit gets on my car because it will eat through my paint. And then it smells terrible. And then they drive like assholes. And then over here in Texas, they have this thing to where it's like, I guess it's like a capitalism among garbage can or garbage services, because you have to call and place your own subscription to garbage people, and they have like different waste management services. Like over there in Florida where I grew up, they had waste management, and that's it. Waste management. Over here they have one that starts with like A. They have some that just drive around in a white truck that has no signs on it, and then they have the legit waste management ones, which I don't see this much on this side of town, because I'm pretty sure they only have it where the white people are. But some of those garbage trucks don't look safe, and then they're assholes and they just leave the trash cans out in the middle of the road. Like, there's some things that I don't think should be left to capitalist ways. Like, garbage and recycling is one thing. Florida did an amazing job with that. They had placed a law. When was it? Whenever I was younger. I don't remember how long ago it was, but they placed a law to where if they found, like glass or plastic and stuff like that in your garbage, they would fine you. Because they gave you a little recycling tub and you had to put the recyclables in the recycling tub. And I was like, that's fucking genius. And they don't charge you, they don't make you subscribe to your own personal garbage services. They include it in your light bill because they have Lakeland Electric, and they include it in your light bill, and then they it's the same people that go pick up your trash and your recycling and all that shit. I think trash passed by like on Tuesdays and recycling was like on Wednesday or something like that. I don't remember, but I think that was a freaking smart idea. I don't know who came up with it, but that was a good idea. And that was in Lakeland. I don't know if, that applied to any other cities in Florida, but it's still a good idea. Why don't they do that here in Texas? Instead, they got all these freaking garbage cans that I'm pretty sure they don't meet the DOT standards, and they're over there dropping shit on the roads. Freaking trash all on the roads while they're trying to take it to a dump. It's like, oh my god, man, like, get your shit together, people. Everybody needs to get their shit together. I need to get my shit together. I'm no one to fucking talk. I don't have my shit together. Get your shit together too, bro. God. America. We already talked about that. Oh, I wish I could be an asshole. Like, I know whenever I'm talking on here, I sound like an asshole, but in person, I have more manners, and I wish I didn't. I wish I could just be a jackass like some people. Like, a lot of people are just assholes naturally, and I envy them a lot. Like, you just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck to a certain extent. Like, there's some people that if you come off a certain way to me, like if you start not giving a fuck, then I will show you that I especially don't give a fuck. But there's other people that just don't give a fuck from the get-go. Like, they don't have to build up to it. They already don't give a fuck, and I envy them sometimes. Because there's this guy, again, at the bar, fucking always assholes at the bar. Why? Anyways, I was telling him, what was I telling him? That I couldn't give him the pitcher of beer because the people that had ordered the beer didn't want us to give out the pitchers of beer. We already had them in the refrigerator, and this guy comes up, had nothing to do with the party. I'm pretty sure didn't pay shit. Just a fucking guest goes over there and is asking me, oh, why? Why can't you give out the pitcher? Well, they're right there. I'm like, because I can't, because of the... Yeah, but why can't you give out? Like, motherfucker, did you pay for it? Because you can't. That's why you can't get a fucking pitcher. That's why. There's no other reason other than you can't because I said so. Like, those are the moments I wish I could be an asshole. But I'm not. I want to be a fucking nice guy. And I was just like, oh, well, you know, because the people of the party said that we couldn't give out the pitcher, so therefore. But no, I wanted to be like, because I fucking can't. You get a cup. Do you want a cup? Do you want a cup of free beer? Because you obviously don't look like you want to pay for it. So do you want a cup of free beer, or do you want to sit there and complain that you don't get the whole pitcher, you fucking mooch? People like that get on my nerves. They always want free shit. And then whenever it comes down to having to pay for something, even though all night you've been given free shit, you want to start complaining like, oh, you're a business and you charge for shit? Like, what kind of ludicrous ideas? Like, motherfucker, we're a business. Like, there's a reason that we do business. Is so we can make a profit. And that's why we sell things. That's how businesses work. This isn't a charity event. You already gotten a whole bunch of free shit. Now that the free shit is out, yes, you have to pay for stuff because we are a business. Like, if you go to Publix and they give you a free sample and then you want to buy or you want more of the sandwich, they're like, oh, you have to buy it. Like, what? You have to pay for the sandwich? What kind of establishment is this to where you charge your customers for products? A business? Stupid. Always cheap ass people too, man. It's always the cheapest people that complain the most. Like, look, you don't have to drink. Like, you have your family with you. Why do you have to drink? If you don't want to pay for it, then just don't fucking drink. Don't sit here and complain to me and give me a whole fucking review, a whole Yelp review on why you don't believe that you should have to pay for it. Just don't fucking drink. Like, just don't be an asshole. Alcohol is not a necessity whenever you go out. If you can't, afford it or whatever it is, you don't want to pay for it, then just don't fucking get it. Don't sit there and complain to me acting like I could change the rules just to suit you because you don't want to pay for shit. Fuck you. Fucking people. Can't tell I have a fucking chip on my shoulder. All this shit I'm getting off my chest, man. I think it was because of FL Studio. This is your fucking fault, FL Studio. Again, blaming that motherfucker. Oh, man. I need to learn how to think in my head, too. Like, I'll be at work, and I'll be thinking things. But for me, fucking Bill Burr. Sometimes I'll think things, and like maybe the last 2-3 words will actually get worded or will get mouthed. Like, I'll say it in like a low volume, but sometimes I'll just like mouth the words, which is kind of weird. But For some reason, I do it whenever I'm like just thinking in my head. And I really need to learn how to just think the whole thought in my head without saying the last couple of words or mouthing it. Because I've gotten caught a couple of times and I just gotta act like I'm licking my lips or something. Or it looks so fucking awkward. Like I was just kind of saying something, I was kind of talking to myself, and then I gotta look the other way and be like, oh man, I hope this guy didn't fucking see me. That's what I gotta learn how to do, man. But I've had this problem for a while. I don't know why. Something's fucking wrong with me. Maybe I just think too much or something. I just have to say something or I have to do something because I noticed I'm like really nervous too. Well, not nervous, but fidgety. Like, I want one of those little fidget cubes. Not those fidget spinners because those look kind of dumb. Those look like a Yu-Gi-Oh toy. I want the little fidget cube to where it has like different activities. You know, it has a little switch on, and then it has a little toggle thing, and then it has a little buttons you could push, and then it has, I think, just like a smooth surface on one of them. I don't know, but that one seems more fun to me because I'm always fidgeting with my fingers, and I think that's part of the reason why I mouth words whenever I'm thinking. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. I need to learn how to control that though, because I can't keep getting caught just mouthing words to myself. I gotta act like I'm singing or something. Like I'm singing a song. Like, oh man, I just had a song too and it left. Ain't no mountain high enough. That's a song I was gonna sing, but it left. It would have been a lot funnier if I would have timed it right. Fucking jackass. My lips are chapped. You know, there's no manly way to put on chapstick, and I'm saddened by that because sometimes you need chapstick and you gotta sit there and it feels like you need a fucking makeup mirror, or you gotta freaking pucker your lips and then just pop it at the end. It feels like that's the correct way to put on chapstick, but I don't, because I know that's really, I don't know how to say it without sounding homophobic, but it looks really gay. Like, just, you gotta do that after you put on the chapstick. I noticed that. Man, my back hurts. Again with your back? Shit, get it fixed, fool. Jeez. What else do I got written here? What else do I got written here on my fucking broken phone? On my fucking broken phone. On my fucking broken phone. And today, I was shipping some stuff out. Oh shit, I should probably get it farther away from the microphone because it's probably gonna fuck up the volume again. I was shipping some stuff out, and I was reading the address from my phone to the lady, and then I kind of handed her my phone because she wanted to, just type it from my phone. So she grabs my phone and I have a broken screen, and she's like, "Boy, you broke your phone." I was like, "Oh, thank you, FedEx lady." I was unaware on what those little lines on my screen were. I was getting kind of worried that a spider was building a web inside my screen, but now that you corrected me and showed me the true ways of a broken screen, I'm so thankful to you, Mrs. FedEx lady. Like, yes, I know I broke my phone. It's kind of obvious that I broke my phone. You don't need to tell me that I broke my phone. It's not like it just happened right now. Do you think it happened whenever I handed it to you? Like, I fucking hand it to you and just squeeze and just... Boy, you broke your phone. Like, no, it's been broken. I know. I was just looking at it before I handed it to you. Silly lady. Did I talk about the $20 at the pump? I don't know if I talked about that in this one or the one that I recorded, but it just kept recording the 2-second clip. So I'm gonna tell y'all again, and if it happens to come up twice, I'll just leave it in there because I don't give a fuck. I put in gas today, and then I put in $20, and I always put in $20. I feel kind of silly because whenever they, never mind, let me not get into it. But yeah, $20. I always put in $20. I don't like filling up my whole tank because I feel like if somebody steals my car, I don't want them to have a full tank of gas too. I don't want to pay for their Grand Theft Auto. That's what it's called, right? It's not just a game, it's an actual action, like Grand Theft Auto. Right? Or is it Grand Theft? I don't know. Carjacking. I don't want to get carjacked and, pay for their getaway. I'd be really upset then. It's like he stole my car and $40. Fucking jackass. And he gets to get like 400 miles away from me with gas that I paid for. That's just a lose situation. Oh, I almost burped, but I didn't. I managed to keep it down. Hopefully it stays down. Gross. It's fake news. Fucking Trump. What else do I got today? And not today, but for the podcast. Whenever I was there at FedEx, I seen this guy that looked like he was, got thawed out. Like he was frozen in the 90s and just got thawed out today because he had like that kid and play haircut. And then he had some lugs on. And he had the this like dress shirt. It was like it wasn't really like silk, but it was like kind of that design, I guess you could say. I don't know. It didn't look like it was silk, like it wasn't shiny. But if you ever see those silk shirts, they always have like these really weird designs. And that's the kind of design that he had. It was like an orangish shirt with like little red kind of flower type bushes. I don't know what it was. It kind of looked like wheat. It kind of looked like red wheat. The guy in the red wheat silk shirt, he had a fucking kid and play haircut with lugs on. I was like, what the fuck? I took a picture of him. It's kind of weird, but I was like, I need to enjoy this later because this is pretty funny. I'm not gonna see this in another 30 years whenever it comes back to it being back in the 90s, because right now it seems like we're in the 80s stage. Like in the 80s you had all these guys dressing like girls, like all the rockers like Aerosmith and who are the other rockers, like Metallica and Prince and all them people in the 80s. They're all dressing like girls, right? Metallica dressed like girls. I hope they did. For the sake of that statement, I really hope Metallica dressed like girls at one point. Even if it's not in the 80s, I hope they dressed like girls at one point in their career. Because then I'm just a fucking liar. Which is not like I'm, educated about anything else I talk about. But one less thing that I get wrong is a lot better for me. You get it? And oh yeah, today whenever I was going in to work at the Home Depot, El Home Depot, they're always playing their fucking commercials at the Home Depot. It's like, why do you need to advertise at your own store? Like, what are you gonna get people that aren't planning on buying something that are at your store to be like, you know what, maybe I should go to the Home Depot and buy me that thing that I just heard on the radio at the Home Depot. There's no need for your employees to be listening to your advertisements every freaking 20-30 seconds during the fucking song, during a song that was a hit in 2004, because you don't want to pay any extra money to get any recent hits because they have their own radio. And then they're playing their own ads on their own radio station. Like, this is terrible. Please turn this off. Why are you advertising to me? I already work here. I'm not gonna buy shit from you because I can't afford it because I work here. It's like the people at Walmart. Like they're over there shopping at or working at a place that some of them can't afford. Like that's fucked up. At least that's what I read on the article. And of course that thing that I read on the article was mainly just the headline, but y'all get what I'm saying. I'm getting sleepy, man. It's fucking 1:30. Yeah, man, it's 1:30 in the fucking morning. And Tuesday on the Toker Talk Tuesday podcast. I didn't even tell y'all what I was telling y'all. The whole reason I even told y'all about Home Depot. Whenever I was going to work at the Home Depot, I seen this guy walking out, and he had the shoe prints on his shirt. He had 2 shoe prints in the middle of his shirt. It said Converse under it. But to me, being stupid, whenever I seen the shoe prints on his shirt, I was like, it looks like somebody drop kicked that motherfucker. And he just, decided not to wash up and just came to the Home Depot. And I was like, yeah, I just got drop kicked. And what? I still need to buy some lumber and some concrete at the Home Depot. I can't let a little drop kick, deter me from my errands that I need to run. But I never got that. Like, when did having shoe prints on your clothes become cool? Like, why is it cool to make it look like another part of your clothing got one of your pieces of clothing dirty? Like, you never see fucking pant prints on your fucking shoes. Like, oh, it looks like his pants got dirty and then he just smeared them on his shoes. You never see that shit. But yet you always see, well, not always, you used to see a whole bunch of clothes with freaking shoe prints on it. Like, it's cool. Like, hey, look, I just got kicked here 1,000 times on my pants and on my chest and on my torso. I just got kicked. And the guy, and we were fighting in ink on a floor that was covered in ink, and it just stayed on my clothing, and I can't wash it out, so I just kept it as a reminder not to fight with that girl from Street Fighter that kicks 1,000 times per second. That's what it looks like what happened. Like, they got in a fight with her and she had some ink on her feet, just got all over their clothes, and they're like, you know what, I gotta go to Home Depot because if I don't, they're gonna close soon. But I think everything happens in cycles. Like the skinny jeans, that was happening in the 80s. And that guy, he's obviously bringing back the 90s. The shoe prints were in the, early 2000s? Like, even way back in the day, they're having like people with the baggy clothes. Like, you see those old timey pictures where the people kind of look like they're wearing robes and stuff. Like, that was our modern day sagging jeans. There are probably people like, why are you wearing your robe so loose? And then it went back to the skinny jeans, which were like the Spaniards. Like, you remember those images that they used to show you in school where the Spaniards, where they're wearing like yoga pants, and then they would have the big poofy shirts on top? It's just more of history repeating itself with fashion. Like, it went from the skinny jeans with the Spaniards, and then, or maybe it went from the baggy robes to the skinny jeans with the Spaniards, and that's what we're doing again. We just came from the baggy clothes era. Now we're going back to the little leggings era, to where all the guys are wearing leggings, basically. And then, maybe in another, 10 years from now, where they're going to have the baggy clothes again. So I'm going to keep all my baggy clothes and I'm going to sell it on eBay. Whenever it becomes popular to be wearing baggy clothes again, I'm going to be like, oh, hell yeah. I still got all my baggy clothes from the 2000s. That's going to be the fashion statement in the 2020s. It's going to be all baggy clothes again. People are gonna be wearing sagging jeans, the 6X white t-shirts, the hats that, you know, cover your whole face. Like Ti used to always wear them really big ass hats, and he would only wear it like on his ear or something like that. He would have like a hat, and it'd barely be hanging on his fucking head. It'd be like on the very back or on the side of his head, or some really, you know, awkward place that normal people would not wear it. But that was Ti. T.I. is still fucking dope, man. I don't know why people are sleeping on T.I. You never hear T.I. like in one of the greatest or like a legend conversation. T.I. typically doesn't come up in those conversations in music, but he deserves it. Like, fucking T.I. has made some dope ass tracks. He's made some really good songs, and he could still spit. That's what people don't get from the South. Like, T.I., Ludacris, Jeezy's fucking dope. Rick Ross definitely has bars, even though, you know, that whole correctional, I don't know why he didn't just own up to the correctional officer thing. Like, why didn't he just fess up to it, be like, yeah, so what, I was a correctional officer, I had to do what I had to do, I had to make money somehow. Like, even if he was, you know, like selling drugs and all that stuff that he said he was, like, that doesn't mean that you can't still be a correctional officer. You could, there's crooked cops. Like, we know this. Like, why didn't he just own up to it? Just be like, yeah, you know, I used to be a correctional officer, but I still did everything else I said I did. Or maybe he did it. I don't know. I don't know Rick Ross. I haven't met him. I know there's one guy that kind of looks like Rick Ross. He's tall and he's black and he has a beard. That doesn't necessarily constitute him looking like Rick Ross, but he kind of does. It's not racist. And if it is, why can't it be? It's a free country. I'm just kidding. It's really not. He really does look like Rick Ross. Like a frijol. But yeah, man. That's what's been going on. That's what's been going on for this week, bro. Shit's getting crazy. I don't know if Trump's gonna make it all 4 years. I said that already, right? I had to. That's not an original thought. I've been thinking that for a while. I hope he doesn't. I hope he does not. I don't think I could take it. That's just too much having to keep up with. That's just too much dumb stuff to be like, that's the leader of our country. See, I hear planes right now. That motherfucker's already freaking hunting me down. He's already like, oh, you think I'm stupid? You call me a puto? Boom, drone strike. Just kidding. I hope not. That'd be kind of suck. I mean, at least it'll be quick, maybe, right? How fast would you die in an explosion? Or what would kill you first? Would it be the impact? Would it be it tearing you apart? Because if it's tearing you apart, that kind of seems like a really bad way to go, too. Like, just being pulled apart by, like, I don't know, just some energy that travels. Because you don't really have anything to compare it to unless you've been near an explosion, I guess. Because it's not like something's pulling you apart. It's an energy. It's a wave. It's a shock wave that comes from the explosion. Or is that even what kills you? I don't know. But that seems terrible, man. I would not want that to happen, especially because you have no idea. It just happens. And plus, I just invested all this money. You know, whatever. And plus, life is precious or whatnot. How long have I gone? 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 Been a long fucking time. Been a long fucking time. Been a long fucking time. And I'm still fucking going. And I'm still fucking going. And I'm still fucking going. That's gonna be my next hit single. Check it out on SoundCloud. It's called How Long Have I Gone? Fucking SoundCloud. I don't know why. I need to start learning how to make websites and stuff like that. That's gonna be one thing that I want to get into, because I'm gonna make an actual legit free upload your song fucking website and not be a dick with it. Because I'm tired of people having to dictate what I can upload and what I can't. But I guess you have to have some kind of like policing of it, because then you're gonna get sued if you're over there, allowing copyrighted content to be uploaded without the copyright user's permission, I guess. Which is dumb. I hate those fucking copyright laws. Like, you can own sounds. Like, what if I make a sound that's similar to the sound and it's complete coincidence? Now you can sue me because these 3 chords sound similar to your 3 chords that you used in a song that nobody's ever fucking heard or will ever hear, other than the fact that now it's being brought to light because you're suing me. Like, that's bullshit. I don't think we should do that anymore. I think they should have, and that's just kind of me being selfish because I want to sample shit and not have to pay people. But it's also hindering artists, because whenever you copyright something, like, what if they have their own complete unique idea with similar sounds, or with the sounds that you used, which is something that I do all the time. I sample a lot. Well, not really a lot, but I sample. And some of my best stuff is sampled because I hear something different in the thing that already exists. Like, it's not your song anymore. I put my own touch to it. I use some of the same sounds. Like, if I had the instrument that you used, or the sound, the plugin or whatever that you used, and I heard those chords, I would still probably come out with the same sounding beat. But because I heard those sounds on your song, like, sometimes, yeah, I'll loop it, but other times I just get little bits of sound and I just make my own beat with that. Now, it's not even the same pattern. It doesn't really sound the same. It sounds kind of similar because it's within the same I guess octave or note thing, whatever. I don't know how to call it because I never learned music that much. But it's within, the same things because I'm using the same notes that you used. But I'm not using it in the same sequence, and I'm not using your vocals. But somehow you can still sue me for that shit. I think that's bullshit, and I don't think that's right. It's just more fucking company bullshit trying to get more money. It's just people being greedy, so they freaking fuck up an art form. And that's what happens. That's what happens to almost everything. Like, people just fuck up stuff for being greedy. They could take a good thing. If Jesus was alive in 2017, they would fuck him up because people would want to profit off of Jesus. They'd be like, you know what? Jesus gets a lot of attention in 2017. He's very popular among Christians. And maybe we could use him to sell Sierra Mist. Let's put him in the Sierra Mist commercial, and hopefully, we could raise up ourselves with this Jesus fellow. That's what they would do. Like, that's how fucked up we are as a fucking species in this point in time. Well, it's not even really species. It's mainly here in America. And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because it's good because in part that's what made us so big. That's what got us so successful, is this, profiteering mind state. But at the same time, it fucks up a lot of things, because that's the only mind state that people have sometimes, is because that was taught to them that's really all that matters in a sense to certain people. I'm not saying that that really is all that matters, but some people do really feel that way. And they operate in a way to where that is how they, interact with the world. And it fucks things up a lot. Water supplies, food supplies, medicines, clothing. People pimp out things for everything. Why did I get so damn dark? Look at me. Getting dark and shit, being all conspiracy theorist and all that shit. Fuck. It's too early to be that dark. Or maybe that's why I'm so dark. Because all these damn crickets. What do crickets do? Why do they keep making these noises at night? What are they waiting for? Are they looking for mates? And why is it only at night? Why don't they do it during the day? Is it because the birds would get them? Because there ain't no birds flying around at night. So like, now we could fuck with them birds are always trying to eat us. Hey, you want to try to eat me? And then they just wake them up in the middle of the night. But then they wake us up too because they're jackasses. That's why they got long legs. Because they're jackasses. Bunch of long-legged jackasses always hopping and shit. That's how you know I ran out of shit to talk about. I'm over here talking about long-legged grasshoppers. That's what they call lowriders, grasshoppers. And I don't know if that's racist. I think it is. Or is it because they kind of look like grasshoppers because the back end lifts up? Or is it because Mexicans cut grass and then they hop their cars? I don't know. There's always something racial, some kind of racial undertone to a lot of innocent things. And I don't have time to give any examples, mainly because I don't feel like it. And I'm basing that only on that last statement that I said. Oh man, but it's getting kind of late, people, so I think I'm gonna go home. Even though I basically am home, I think I'm gonna, I don't know, start getting ready for bed because I'm kind of tired. So this has been your Toker Talk Tuesday podcast. Toker Talk Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Toker Talk Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Toker Talk Tuesday motherfucking podcast. Hey, hey, hey. But yeah, that's what it's been. So this is your boy Ro signing off. I need to get me a outro catchphrase. I'm gonna think of one. I don't know what to say at the end of all the podcasts, but I'm gonna have to get me like a little catchphrase to end my podcast with, to sign off. But yeah, man, this is your boy Ro. I will see you guys next motherfucking Tuesday for the Toker Talk Tuesday podcast. Hey, good night and gracias.